What's up, guys? nethervvoid here with more World of Tanks subscriber replays for you today. Plans never seem to work out the way they're supposed to for me. I don't know what it is lately, but I have not had time to do anything. So subscriber replays is probably one of the easier things for me to do. It's not the complete easiest. Probably Learn It Live is easier. The only problem with Learn It Live is I really have to concentrate. I try to concentrate really hard. And, you know, you try to give your best, give 110%, and that's all you could do out there is give 110%. If you know what movie that's from, you're pretty awesome. That was kind of a generic movie quote, though. It could be from a lot of movies, I guess. But, anyway, this replay is from Hippo Face, from the clan Hippo. And he's in his T-62A. It's a Russian Tier 10 medium. Pretty awesome little tank. And he does a really good job here on El Haluf Standard. Using the terrain to his advantage, really, because as you can see here, the Russian tanks have horrible gun depression. Pretty much don't have any gun depression. A lot of the reason for this, you can correct me if this is wrong, tank buffs, but it's because they want their tanks to be so narrow, so low to the ground. Let's pause it and just look at the silhouette here. They're so, height-wise, they're so small that there's no room hardly in the turret. And also, there's no room for gun depression. So, and see, the turret is slightly back from the front there, from the front plate. So there's really nowhere for that gun to go. That was just kind of its Russian tank design. I'm not sure if it's changed since the Korean age. I want to say it has. I know the T-80 and stuff like that looks a lot different than these tanks, but that's, again, part of the reason they have such bad gun depression is the way they design their turrets and the way they put the turret on the tank. With respect to the front plate, I mean, if they moved the turret up a little bit, they probably could have more gun depression. But Russian tank design also goes with Russian tank strategy, which is really attack, attack, attack. They really don't have, they're not a defensive strategy. Like, again, correct me if this is wrong, I'm not a huge tank buff, so don't expect this stuff to be perfect, but it does start a conversation at least. As far as I know, U.S. tank doctrine is more has more defensive capabilities in it, with like hull down, you know, on hills, dug in. They have, you know, different defensive strategies. Where Russian strategies are more just Zerg. That's kind of what their strategy is, at least for the 60s and 70s. And I'm not, again, not sure about today. But so he's checking out where he got hit and where he got bounces. You can see he got it on the turret. Now I've got the wiki up right now. I wanted to look at the, come on, let me look at it, the wiki for the T-62A, and to look at that turret armor. It is really awesome. That's one thing it does have, is they have, let's see, where is it, turret armor 240, so pretty awesome for a medium. Hull armor 102, which with the angling it's still decent, but it's not very good. So like a lot of tanks, you know, you're not going to get bounces generally off the hull in a medium, but in a lot of mediums you also won't get bounces off the turret, but in the Russian tanks you can. So he's getting jacked by a tortoise right there, and he's getting some kind of lucky bounces. Where'd the tortoise hit him with that one? Let's look. Side of the turret again. The turret armor is just ridiculous. The way that the Russian turret armor was created is to be super, that thickness 280s, that's actually at the very, very bottom of the turret. So if you look at the turret, it's really just around like the very, very bottom. You can see where basically it flattens out. That's where the 240 armor is. And as you get closer to the top, the armor thins out because, you know, with the angling, the effective armor of that turret holds, because usually a shell's going to come, you know, be coming in from horizontally. And so that armor at an angle basically keeps its strength, because it becomes thicker as you angle the armor, right? So that seems pretty obvious. Hopefully I can show you a little picture of the turret armor, whatever I'm talking about, because there are images of the net on that specific turret armor for these Russian mediums. So the T-62A, pretty much one of the best tier 10 mediums in the game, as far as non-autoloaders anyway, if you're considering autoloaders, but it's pretty awesome. I like the T-54, which is the child, well, it's not it's the predecessor to the T-62A. And I've heard the T-62A is just even better. So if you like the T-54, you're really going to love the T-62A. What I like about the 62A is it's all around a great tank. It's got good mobility, the gun is good, The armor can get you some crazy bounces, especially if it's off the turret. So you have a little bit of everything is what I really like about this tank. Power to weight ratio 15, that seems really low. I thought it was better than that. I know the T-54 has better than that power to weight ratio. Let's make sure that it's, well, you can't upgrade this thing. That's actually pretty bad. Speed limit 50, 580 horsepower engine on a 37-ton tank. I guess it's because, like a lot of people were saying about the 4202, is that this is about the time when everybody started switching over to main battle tanks. So what you get is slightly more armored tanks with not as great mobility. Which that makes sense, right? So right here he's doing a really good job pushing up and getting shots on people. So you can see somebody got a shot into his cupola basically right there. You can see the paintball right there. Nice shot, whoever did that. But he's pushing up really nice right here. Not only to light people up, but he's actually taking, getting damage on people. You see the rest of his team is pretty much just sniping. They're doing a great job of it. He's got 2,300 damage already, so he shoots him right in that weak spot, the machine gun turret. Right where the tortoise is weak. Great spot to shoot him. And up this, this close, he's going to have no problems with that. Because the Russian guns are not known for accuracy, but, at 30 meters, how could you miss? At 30 meters, I could throw a rock and hit that machine gun port. So I'm sure, hopefully, you can do it with a gun. I don't know. I've always thought the accuracy ratings for these tanks in these games are just kind of weird because, like, if I can hit something with a rifle, you think you should be able to do it with a tank shell. But anyway, especially with the computer stuff they started to have on these kind of tanks. This is probably, I think this was designed, well, I don't know when it was designed. Let's look. Let's see if we... The development of this first Soviet post-war medium tank started in 1951, so I guess it probably doesn't have any computers in it. 1961, the T-62 tank with a smoothbore gun was deployed. At the same time, in a variant, the 62A with a rifled gun was also deployed. March 62, mass production of the 62A was discontinued. The 62 was mass-produced from 61 through 75, so they went with the 62 instead of the 62A. 20,000 62s were manufactured. Cool, that's pretty awesome. So he's doing a great job here. Kills off the 5100 there. Jag Tiger's catching him from behind now. Yeah, you're dead. Can't even turn around fast enough. This gun is pretty ridiculous. The reload rate on it is awesome. Oh, here comes Artie out of nowhere. Can he get the shot? He misses. He misses the shot. Just like what happened in the other game. Now that he's rushed him, there's nothing he's going to be able to do. He's thinking, great, I missed, and he's dead. Swagger. Yeah, why would he do that? I don't know. He should have shot from up there. The guy wasn't moving. He had a clean shot. Being stupid, I guess. So another don't do this at home, kids moment right there. Just seen a great game from Hippo here. And somewhat against poor quality players. I mean, that's going to happen, right? Because if Hippo goes up against 3 hippos, he's going to die, right? So if all things being equal, most skilled players are not going to have generally skilled, awesome game against like skilled players. It's not going to be like you're going to barely make it. It's not going to be like, I don't know. It is what it is. So you're not going to see ridiculous games with 5,000 damage against all evenly skilled players. It's just not going to happen, which would make a very boring gameplay. But and some parts of it could be exciting. But part of the excitement in these games is that it's a ridiculous game, right? So let's look at the end plates right here real quick. You got Mastery Ace Tanker, really nice job. Steel Wall, which is always awesome to get in a medium tank. Patrol Duty awarded to the player who helps the team damage at least 6 enemy vehicles by highlighting them. So that's because he was pushing up on the ridge. Great job doing that. That's pretty much exactly how you do it. The tanks must be highlighted only by you when they take damage, so nobody else can be helping. Sniper achieved 85% hits out of a minimum 10 shots. Now, I think Sniper changed in 8.11, so you shouldn't see as many of them. They have to be penetrations, and they have to be at a certain distance. You can't do it at 30 meters, which makes sense. A sniper's, there's no... Like I said, it's not a skill to hit somebody at 30 meters, right? So, Laundry List Opponent there, again, like we see in most of these games. Tons of damage on people. Let's look at the score here. 5,000 damage, 2,000 more than the guy below him. 1,300 experience. Really great game. Third plate. Potential damage received 3120. Again, these Russian mediums get some crazy games. They get good bounces, especially when people are stupid and they're shooting at turrets. Or they load gold and shoot at the turret thinking, oh, it'll go through. Which, if you're going to load gold, still shoot for weak points, please, because then it'll actually go through instead of just being... If you load gold and shoot at the turret on this kind of a tank, it's just like loading AP and shooting at a weak point, so there's no point in doing that. Anyway, 33,000 credits with a non-premium account. Still a really great game. Did not fire any gold, so that really helped him there. So anyway, let's get another game with another awesome medium replay, and hold on a second, guys. So here's the second game I wanted to show you. Again, another medium replay. That's why this is called Medium Superiority. This is in an E-50 German Tier 9 medium tank. Pretty awesome tank. It did get a nerf a couple patches ago. This is from Sowit in his E-50 on Siegfried Line Assault. Again, I don't play Assault, and you're about to see why. To me, Assault, the defenders have just an unfair advantage. The time, again, 10 minutes, not enough time, and the defenders have the same amount of tanks as the attackers, which again puts the attackers at a disadvantage in my opinion. But also mainly because it's very hard to play Assault in randoms, because a lot of random players are just not good enough for this type of a map, and so you just get steamrolled. You know, he's doing a great job here with great positioning that you can really only do on Assault, because if you try this on a regular map, on the regular version of this map, people are going to come up on the 9-0 line. You're going to get killed. IS-3, fairly flat armor. He's angling it slightly here. And he's going right for that lower pike. It's going to be a no-brainer right here. 362, bam, in your face. So this was actually approved, and now I got to click over because I'm not looking, by Reaper 20K and Zequel. They're saying that this is pretty badass little replay here. Actually, let me pull up what they exactly said. Actually, I can't do it from here, can I? I had to shut my machine down, and I went and did some stuff. It's actually the next day. So Low's creeping up on that A line. That's actually not a bad idea. You need to get around people. The hard part is just, it's easy to cover the defense. All you have to do is cover the flag. You can put all 15 people there, right? You don't have to split people up or do any of that crap. Just load everybody up on the same line. It's really simple. Damn it, where did that go anyway? There it is. So let's see. So Zequel said the E-50, this game shows a really passive game in the beginning that shows how to get damage at the start of the match without sacrificing the hit points you might need later in the game. And I know a lot of people say that's kind of a big deal, is conserve your hit points for later in the game. Because in the beginning of the game, everybody's trading damage, and toward the end, there's going to be lots of enemy tanks that are like half dead or almost dead. And if you have lots of hit points, you still have some hit points to trade for like a kill. But if you go out brawling kind of early on in the game, you're going to have a harder time cleaning up for your team later. So that does make a lot of sense. Technically, I don't do that because really somebody has to get out there and do damage. So I'm not sure that's the best approach. It's definitely good from a numbers perspective to get like the kind of the quote-unquote noobs out there taking the hits for the team, and then you get in there, you know, and finish people off. That sounds great, but the problem really is, it's a little bit selfish, and if nobody's willing to get out there, then that strategy crumbles very quickly, because the enemy's going to surround you, the enemy's going to get good positioning. It's just all around not a good idea, because, well, you just have to have people willing to get out there and take damage. The more people hang back, the less people are willing to get out there and take damage, because they get alpha, you know, they get focused down. So that teaches them, hey, let's not jump out and take damage. Let's not jump out there, because I'm just going to get focused. So I'll just sit back here and camp. So that style, while it's good tactically in this game, and by that I mean it's good for that specific game, it's bad for in the long run for this game, because it makes more people camp. So here's a T-52A getting jacked up, posted up really in a great spot back there. The problem really is he's highly exposed because he's on a hill. But it's good positioning. He's on the 0 line. That's where you want to be on this kind of a map. But, of course, well, I guess the enemy team isn't doing too bad. They're only down 1 tank. But Sowit is just taking complete advantage of this enemy team. And if you noticed, and I don't get a lot, at least I don't think I get a lot of Assault replays, but the 2 that I've gotten that are uber games, quote-unquote, are when the team's on defense. I'd love to see some Assault games where the team's on the offense facing really good players who know how to play the game, and it's a win, because That's one of the reasons I kind of turned off assault, because it was like you had to have this perfect game against total noobs to actually win, in my experience anyway. So to me, it was just easier to turn that style off. I love Encounter. That's a badass mode. And I thought they were putting in a new mode in 8.11. Let me know about that, because I actually haven't had a lot of chance to play 8.11. So now the game's opening up. It's time to hunt down enemies, because there are a few of them, and there are enough of them, or not enough of them to make this kind of an action right here a big problem. And also, they're like one shot from death kind of thing. Boom! The KV-4 gets taken out. Look at the IS-3, one shot from death. Again, team is, you know, half the tanks have been removed, and a lot of the leftover tanks have, you know, critical amounts of damage. So that's when you start moving out, and boom, that guy's dead. And again, that's kind of my gripe with the crap with the heavies, in a sense. I know you guys probably get tired of hearing about it, but the heavies' job was to get out there and take punishment early on in the game. That was kind of the whole point of it. And if you can play your heavy just right, you could go out there and get lots of dings. So it was a good play style, and just now it's much harder to do. So boom, the 704 goes down, double teamed by a T-54 and possibly the M103. And the enemy team just can't get a leg up. They get a kill, the friendly team gets a kill. Enemy team gets a kill, the friendly team gets a kill. This is a very tight game so far. But looks like the friendly team is I think better positioned to win this. 2 heavies and 3 mediums is a lot better than, you know, heavy and medium and 2 TDs, in my opinion. And Yag Tiger just getting surrounded. Yag Tiger. I said it both ways, so now one of those is right, correct? So the M103 takes him out. That's a badass tank, M103. I loved it when I had it. The T-110E5 is no letdown. It's also completely insane. E50M got a serious nerf. It used to be a lot better than it is now. That's really unfortunate. It didn't need a nerf, in my opinion. But it seems like German nerfs are fairly random, and they always back it up with some kind of historical bullcrap. It's bullcrap in my opinion. But it's like you're taking designs from the 40s and, you know, putting them up against designs from the 50s and 60s. So I don't think you should be making it historically accurate. You need to buff the tanks that are from like 10 years previous design, just to balance the game. If you're all about balancing the game, why wouldn't you do that? Or if you're all about having historical game, why would you put up the STB-1 or whatever the Japanese Tier 10 medium was that was designed in the 60s up against tanks designed in the 40s? That makes completely no sense. Tank design changed so much. Okay, here's a good thing they did. Here's a good thing he does. Boom, track and damage, right? Then he swings around him, and he's looking for the exit strategy while he's just turning his turret to get the kill. T-30, known for having a really slow turret rotation, and he's out of the game. That's pretty much how it's done. Sometimes it can be hard to get the track, especially if you're in the lower tiers, because I think the track hit points are a lot higher than the gun damage at those tiers. Once you get to tier 9 and 10, though, the gun damage and track hit points are relatively similar, and so you can one-shot track. But in the earlier games, or with guns that don't have as high of alpha, you might have to shoot twice, or 3 or 4 times, depending on how the track damage works in the game. Because sometimes I've noticed it's either a one-shot, or it's 3 or 4 shots, he's still not tracked. So, you know, it is what it is, but just something to know. So he's hunting this Arty. There he is. There's the Arty. Doesn't even see him. And boom, he's dead. 5 kills, really awesome game. Let's start looking at plates. Very awesome game here by Sowit. Plate 1 here. Mastery Ace Tanker. Confederate, which means you damage 6 tanks that you did not kill, which is pretty awesome. That's a big contribution to the team. Sniper, again, this is an 8.10 review, or replay, so this will not exist in the new 8.11. I don't know if you would have got Sniper or not. It's kind of a complicated thing now, so you have to have be more than 200 meters or whatever, and all your shots at the pin or something like that. So let's look at this second plate here. Sorting by damage, an insane game. 8,000 damage. You can't argue with that. 1,437 experience. It's just, you cannot argue with that game. The strategy he put into the game was perfect, like I was saying. I think it's bad for the game. I think the game mechanics need to change so that camping, or that, it's not that how do we stop camping? It's more, how do we bring about playstyles that are not camping and make them viable and make them powerful so that people will say, wow, camping is not very powerful. I'm not going to do it. I think that's how you're going to have to get it done, because I don't think the way they're doing it is going to work. You're going to have to buff armor. You're going to have to allow people to get in people's face and be like a KV1 used to be. So anyway, 5 kills. Again, last plate here. Total potential damage, 0. Never even took a ding. So that's pretty cool too. Damage upon detecting, 274. That's because he sat back pretty much the whole game. 25 shots, 23 pens. Really awesome game. 167,000 credits with premium. I'm not sure. Let's see. Auto resupply, compensation. I don't see where it says battle duration, note received for the day. That's XP. I don't see any bonuses for any kind of, what's it called? Let's see, is that in the beginning? No, it's a straight credit thing. Someone was saying you could tell, like, if it's a, what was it? If it's one of those, I don't know, things that you can get every weekend that gives you a lot of extra credits or something like that. I am not seeing that. I'm just seeing received, how much you received, and I'm seeing the total. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything. Anyway, let me know where that is, and let me know what you think about these. Please send your replays to dgnetsubmissions@gmail.com. Guys, I'll be sending out another replay pack after this video, and I also have the previous pack that you guys have already done, so I'll be able to make next week's video. So thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Always remember, stay frosty.